Hello, 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 everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the debut of Star City Live. I'm Shannon Wickline, and I'm really excited to be with you guys. This gentleman behind me, I met at the recording studio I work at a lot. I mention a lot, the Fainting Goat out in Bedford, and I'm really excited to have him as my first guest. So I want to introduce everybody to Percy Abell. Hello, Percy.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful, sir. How are you?
I'm great.
Thank you so much.
Happy to be here.
Well, thank you so much for being here, man. Happy to have you. And hello to our lovely audience here.
We have a live studio audience.
Yeah, we got a live studio on us. Yeah, instead of a dead studio. No, no. So, huh? That's right. No, you're off camera now. So anyway, so we are live. And this, like I said, this is called Star City Live, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. I had this idea when I moved back to Roanoke from Nashville. I was pleasantly surprised by how much talent is here and in the surrounding areas, and Percy is definitely no exception to that. So Percy, I'm going to give the floor to you, my friend. So for those who are unfamiliar with you, why don't you tell them who you are and what you're about, and then we'll play some songs.
Yeah, happy to. So my name is Percy Abell, and I am a singer-songwriter. In some of the areas where I play, they'll call it trop rock. I prefer to go by costal americana. I think it sounds cooler.
That sounds cool.
And I'm not a rocker.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm more of a sit.
Yeah.
Strum, grab a beer, some kind of thing like that, margarita. So I play in the coastal americana genre, and so I play a lot of beach towns, a lot of places south of here as well. But I do play around Smith Mountain Lake quite a bit. Been doing the music thing full time 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Played music. We talked earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Self-taught on the guitar because I love to sing, and my music is just all over the place. I love everything. I like everything from AC/DC to John Denver. If we were talking about John, Paul Overstreet.
Yeah.
I like so much different stuff. But I love the beach, and the beach tunes just kind of tugged at my heart, and they were easy to write, and something that's easy to write means there's something meaningful in it for you.
Kind of spoke to you.
It did.
Yeah.
And so I've had the pleasure of playing the Key West Songwriter Festival in November a couple times, and I've been down to Destin, Florida at Lulu's, and Whiskey Joe's down in Tampa Bay, and so we've had a chance to meet some cool people and play the music. And in our genre, the coastal americana, I think I've had 5 songs go to number 1 on different charts.
Nice.
And people go, "Oh, it's really cool." Yeah, it's still a small world, but it's still cool to have that, And this,
I don't have a number 1 anything, so that's great.
This past weekend was really cool because FM 104.9, which is a Key West radio station, Barefoot Radio, they did a Firecracker 400, the top 400 most requested songs the last 10 years that they've been on the air. And Paradise Without You, which is my newest one, was 138 out of 400 over the last 10 years, most requested songs.
That's awesome.
And so Amy and I were riding around the car, and the DJ that we know down there sent me an email saying, "Hey, by the way, turn this on. Your song is going to be on this." I'm like, "No kidding." So, some of the music's starting to get a little traction.
Good.
And
good for you. That's great, man.
It's a lot of fun playing and meeting it. And I do play around Smith Mountain Lake in the Lynchburg area quite a bit.
Awesome. Well, what was the song you said that, was it Paradise?
Paradise Without You. So I wrote that song maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, and then we recorded it. It put it out. Man, I lose track of time. It's probably been out 5 months now.
Okay.
We did it at Fainting Goat Studio, so give Willie some props on
Absolutely,
working on there.
Love that place.
And so we got it out. It's a slower song. It's the idea behind the song is when you go to a vacation place, when you go to a beautiful place of paradise, but if you're not with the one you love, is it really paradise? It's paradise without you. And I actually had to explain to my wife when I wrote it, like, "Hey, I don't plan on going anywhere without you," but it's just one of those songs that popped in my head.
Okay.
And so I didn't know how it was going to go on the radio because some of the other songs, especially in the coastal Americana world, they like the upbeat, they get up and dance, parrot head type thing. But it took a little bit, but man, I'm really been surprised at where it's gone. It did not get to number 1, but it was in the top 5 on the Island Heat.
Okay.
On the Island Heat,
that's respectable. That's
top
great.
20, and it got top 10 on the Trop Rock top 40.
Okay.
And so, but I think the one down in Key West was a big one because like that's comparing you to all genres because there was such a wide variety on that 400 list. I think like Kenny was behind me a little bit. Of course, he was ahead of me on a lot of them as well. But it was really cool to see your name in
Talking about Kenny Chesney?
Kenny Chesney, yeah. So it's cool to see your name in that list with some of those artists.
That's pretty
Bob
awesome.
Marley and all this. It was really cool.
That's great. Well, do you want to play Paradise Without You?
Paradise Without You real
All
quick
right,
for you,
so
yeah.
Here we go. This is Percy Abell and Paradise Without You.
Here we go. Headed to the islands for a little vacay. And you had meetings, you needed to stay. You said I'd be there soon, and I miss you too. Just a few more days, and I said, it ain't paradise without you. It ain't paradise without you. Long walks on the beach will be so blue, 'cause it ain't paradise without you. I can see you in every part of this place. Some things paradise just can't replace. You and me and a red sunset, and seeing the joy you get, splashing in the waves. And I said, it ain't paradise without you. It ain't paradise without you. Long walks on the beach will be so blue, 'cause it ain't paradise without you. I miss you by my side. I miss the morning bike rides, a table for two with a view. It ain't paradise without you. It ain't paradise without you. Long walks on the beach will be so blue, 'cause it ain't paradise without you. It ain't paradise without you. It ain't paradise without you. Long walks on the beach will be so blue, 'cause it ain't paradise. It ain't paradise. It ain't paradise without you. It ain't paradise without you.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
So Paradise Without You.
Yeah, so and all these songs and all my songs can be found on social media sites or the streaming sites as well. You can get them on Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and all the above.
All right.
Yeah.
So the graphic we have here on the screen, facebook.com/Percy Abell Music. Is that the best?
So you,
Is that the best way for people to find you?
Yeah, it is. So you go there, go to my Facebook page, and then you can keep up with all the posts that I have about where I'm playing, new songs coming out, which we have a new one coming out. I contacted the studio today. I'm waiting to hear back. We've done the music, which you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
On that.
Oh, is that
yeah, Sunset.
Sunsetting? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
so
that. That's a good song.
I did the vocals on it, and I've got the partial demo to play around with and listen to, and it sounds amazing. And
Awesome.
people I've shared it with love it. So
Good.
you did. Thank you for your wonderful
Well,
job.
thank
so
you.
We're just
Thank you
waiting
for-
on all the backups and harmonies, and then we'll get that out here soon. So they'll be able to. And I'll post all that on my Facebook page.
Wonderful, wonderful. So speaking of sun setting, you wanna play it?
Yeah, let's do Sunset.
You mind if I tag along with you?
Yeah. So I know that I know that I'll probably mess you up as we've talked
No,
earlier.
I
but
guarantee I'll mess you up.
because you did such a wonderful job, and you know, when I write songs and I play them out, sometimes we change them when we go to the studio.
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah.
So I'll do my best on this one.
No, man, I'm gonna follow you.
All right. So I need to say that I did co-write this one with a buddy of mine from Texas, Albie King. So throw Albie a little love
All
out
right,
there.
all right.
The sun-kissed days going by so fast. Looks like the good Lord saved the best for last. If we left early, we'd be regretting. Me and my baby just sunsetting. Well, the sun is setting, and so are we. Spend our day here on the beach. It's true, the best things in life are free. This view is priceless down by the sea. A day I won't soon be forgetting. You and me, baby, sunsetting. The day is over, our time's run out. We've been reminded what life's all about. We'll be back on that, you can be betting. Me and my baby just sunsetting. Well, the sun is setting, so are we. Spend our day here on the beach. It's true, the best things in life are free. This view is priceless down by the sea. A day I won't soon be forgetting. You and me, baby, sunsetting. Well, sunsets and beach songs are two quite the same. What a perfect way to end the day. You and me, baby, sunsetting. You and me, baby, and the sun is setting, and so are we. Spend our day here on the beach. It's true, the best things in life are free. This view is priceless down by the sea. A day I won't soon be. And the sun is setting, and so are we. Spend our day here on the beach. It's true, the best things in life are free. This view is priceless down by the sea. A day I won't soon be forgetting. Just you and me, baby, we're sunsetting. Awesome.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
That's a fun tune. I like
It
that.
is. Albie is he lives out in Texas, and he had the idea for the song, and we've written two together. And he called me up and he said, "Hey, I got this idea. Let's go with it." And so the idea about I say teased a little bit by some people that I hang out with because I write a lot of songs that might include doing something with her.
Okay.
And they're like, "You just get me in trouble." Like, and there's a comedian guy that we know, and he's like, "Man, you just get me in trouble." He goes, "I tell jokes," and like, well, we write songs, and so
There she is back there, right there.
Been married 40 years, and so almost 40 years. Be 40 years in November. So I write a lot of songs that might include things we would do together, and sunsetting would be one of those. Nice. So.
How long you been married?
It'll be 40 years in November.
Would you guys get married when you were like 12?
Not far off.
Wow. 40 years. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
So she has been around my guitar playing and music for the good, bad, and the ugly.
All right.
So
So she's a keeper.
She is. She is. She is. She is. She's
That's awesome.
She's a really good one to bounce ideas off. If it's not good, she'll tell you it's not good, and she will not let me put anything out there that's not like. She goes, "Yeah, that's really good. Do it." No, don't do that.
That's awesome. So, yeah. Well, you have to have that.
Yes, you do.
You have to have that because, you know, everybody's like, oh, man, no, it's great. It's great. It's
You're
great.
Right.
And then, you know, it may not be.
No. And, you know,
when I was like, well,
when I was first, you know, writing these songs and, you know, you kind of as a songwriter, especially not being in Nashville and not being in the business, like, what do you do with this stuff you're writing? What do you do with it? And you play it out live. And eventually it was the family was like, hey, you got to figure out some way. And it was interesting the way I did it. I found a singer-songwriter in the trop rock world, Carl Page, who lived in Florida.
You mean coastal Americana world?
Coastal Americana. He'll call his trop rock, I think.
Trop rock.
But it's and you know, he didn't know me, I didn't know him. I just heard his song on the radio, on Radio A1A. And so what I did was I got on Facebook and I found him, and on those stalker things, I just sent him a message like, hey, you don't know me, but I am writing songs and I want to know, what should I do? He goes, here's my number. And we spent the next 2 hours talking on my front porch. And he just gave me the outline. These are the people to contact.
That's
Tell
amazing.
them you know me, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
And and I'd already recorded If I Were a Boat with Willie at the Faint & Go studio. Mm-hmm. And so I contacted these. Radio A1A was the first station I contacted and said, hey, Carl Page told me to give you contact. Said, you know, he's listened to this song. I'm going to send it to you. And they yeah. And they go, well, we like it. And they put it on the radio. And then it's really haven't looked back since then. And now it's probably about 8 or 9 consistent stations around the country and around the world. I think it's 7 different countries that the music's being played in.
That's great. So you said you play out some, mostly around the lake, but you do some traveling. So how many shows maybe per year do you think you would?
It's mostly, so I would say that most of the shows are May through September.
Okay.
That I play, because I have another job to pay the bills.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And so
you're one of the smart ones.
So I'm a college professor, and
oh wow, okay.
At the University of Lynchburg, I retired. I was a head baseball coach for 20 years there.
Okay.
And retired and kept my faculty job, and it allowed me to do this. And so I started playing out a lot of cover stuff because I didn't have a lot of original songs that I really wanted to play out. So I started up at Portside and Mitchell's and around the lake, Apocalypse Ale Works, Waterstone Pizza, and started playing those places pretty consistent. Like every weekend I would play one of those, and some weekends 2 or 3, and now I'm playing over at Rock House Marina at Clear Lake, some as well. But once I started putting songs on the radio and I started writing more and then getting to co-write with other songwriters, whether they're, you know, some work in Nashville and some no longer in Nashville but somewhere else, and I write with them. My ultimate goal is to really play songwriter events.
Okay.
So this year I've cut back on the number of shows. Not that I don't like playing covers, I'm fine with that, but I really want to showcase my music. So if a venue is not like, well, we don't really want you to do that, it's really not it's just I would rather play some of my own stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And so I've cut back to do more things that I enjoy doing. And so the songwriter events, whether we host them in Lynchburg, which we've done, whether I go to Key West or go down to Florida to play those, and then when I go up to the lake, I'll be at Mitchell's this Sunday.
Okay.
Mitchell's Marina at Smith Mountain Lake. So if you go there, it's 2 to 5.
Okay.
And what you'll hear is 50-50. I will, for every cover song, there'll be an original song mixed in.
So this Sunday at Mitchell's out on the lake, 2 to 5.
2 to 5. Come enjoy.
Come hear this man.
Come out and hang out with me, ask questions, and and we'll talk. And you'll hear a lot of Buffett and Chesney. You'll hear some of my inspirations from the coastal Americana world, and you'll hear a lot of my
write questions
stuff
on the back of a $50 bill. He'll be happy to answer it.
That is not a problem. You're exactly right.
And then write your song request on the back of a $100 bill, and he'll be especially excited to do that.
I always tell, if I know those requests, that's what always, when they request songs, like, I don't know that one.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know that one.
Yeah. And, how about I do this one instead? He's like, give me $20 back.
Like, I may know the lyrics, but I don't know the chord progression.
Right.
And I'm not good at winging it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really good at going, oh, yeah, I can. Like, if I had time, I could, but on the spot,
you'd have to kind of work it out first.
Work it out a little bit.
Yeah. We, I have a duo I was telling you about. It's called Shanalan, and that's all we do. We have kind of a set, selection of songs we like to do, but we just make it up half the time, you know, and that's how I live my life. I just make it up as I go, and that translates into my music life also. It's just I just wing it just completely. So something structured, I'm just like,
I guess, and for me,
throws me off.
For so many years of what I've done for a living, I've had to have some structure, and I think with the songwriting and the playing out, I kind of need to have that script like in front of me, like, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing.
I should probably have a script right here, because I tend to say and a lot.
I would say that I may too. I may as well. I don't know, but for years being interviewed as a baseball coach, I kind of got used to being in front of a camera.
Oh, okay.
I got used to answering questions and so when I've done the music world stuff and I get interviewed and people will go, "You did a really nice job," like expecting me not to do a nice job,
right?
But I've kind of gotten used to it over the years.
That's awesome. Yeah, you put me in a recording studio and I don't have red light syndrome at all. I've done live TV stuff and no big deal. But when I know that camera is staring at me and I'm sitting right here and I'm trying to make a video, I mean, my IQ drops like 100 points. I don't know what to do. And especially if I don't have a keyboard or something or guitar, I'm like Ricky Bobby on Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't think that I could actually stand up and sing without this attached to
it. It's so weird.
I'm so used to having it. Like, if you asked me to put this down and sing my songs, it would just be weird. Like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah, it's like I don't know what to do.
No, I need this. I need this right here. I need to have it. It's a security blanket to play with there. But
I heard that. Well, let's do a couple more before we wrap it up. Yeah. What's the next one you want to show everybody?
I would say that this song probably, it's not the first one we put out, but it's the one that, in the world of the coastal Americana, it's the one that kind of put me on the map a little bit. And it's also the one that's gotten the most airtime, the most downloads and streams. It's called Flip Flop in the OBX.
Okay.
And so the Outer Banks of North Carolina is a place that we've gone our entire marriage quite often. And there's a radio station down there, Radio Free Outer Banks. And they play this song all the time. And the people down there, because it's about that place. And so my middle brother said, "Hey, you need to write a song about the Outer Banks." I said, "What would that entail?" And he's like, "Well, flip-flops and everything." So I sat down and we got Flip-Flop in the OBX for you here.
All right, there you go.
It's 5 o'clock on Friday. This meeting's moving way too slow. I should be on the road right now, headed for the coast. Started to daydream about flip-flops on my feet. I can hear the seagulls calling, and I can almost smell the beach. And I'll be flip-flopping the OBX all weekend long. Water as far as I can see, it's where I belong. And I'll be flip-flopping the OBX from the sound to the sea. Spend all weekend walking around with the sand beneath my feet. Fly a kite on Jockey's Ridge, surf a wave or two. Head on over to Avon Pier, go fishing for some blues. Drive to Corolla, see the ponies in the sand. Sit in my beach chair watching the waves sundowner in my hand. And I'll be flip-flopping the OBX all weekend long. Water as far as I can see, it's where I belong. And I'll be flip-flopping the OBX from the sound to the sea. Spend all weekend walking around with the sand beneath my feet. Take a ride on Highway 12, paddleboard to Pamlico. Seashell hunt on Pea Island, take a boat out of Pirates Cove. Cause I'll be flip-flopping the OBX all weekend long. Water as far as I can see, it's where I belong. And I'll be flip-flopping the OBX from the sound to the sea. Spend all weekend walking around with the sand beneath my feet. Spend all weekend walking around with the sand beneath my feet.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's awesome.
So the studio version is very rocking.
It's very rocking.
It's very rocking. Willie played the drums and one of the early ones where we were collaborating together, and Willie's a rocker.
Oh, yeah.
And so
yeah.
he was adding a lot of rock sound to that one. But it sounds great, and it's gone over really well. And so I think that one will live on down the Outer Banks for a long time.
Well, good, good. That's awesome. That's great. So where did you? We were talking a little bit before we went live. Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in a small little town called Crozet, Virginia, right outside of Charlottesville.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, probably Whitehall, but Crozet, people might have heard of Crozet and not Whitehall.
All right.
So farming family, and everybody lived on this gravel driveway together and up and down. So we spent a lot of time with family and spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house playing guitar and singing on the carport. And as I mentioned earlier, Paul Overstreet songs. Those are the only ones that I knew at the time. And so I would just sing.
Great songwriter.
Yeah, so I learned
Great
his songs,
songwriter.
and I would just play for my parents and my uncles and aunts and cousins and grandmother. And I was the only one that could play an instrument at the time, so we would just sit around and they would sing what they knew. And of course, we sang. We'd sing some hymns and things for my grandmother as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody'd sing along, and we'd do that a couple times a month. And that's kind of my start to performing.
That's awesome. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Just jump right in and do it. So so you said you kind of start. When did you kind of start teaching yourself to kind of play guitar and?
Yeah. So back in middle school. I don't know if they still do it now or not. I know we have at least one educator in the room, and I don't want to turn and ask her if they have it, but they had electives. And so you could take electives in middle school, and so one of them was guitar.
Okay.
And so it was a 6-week elective, and they taught you 3 chords, and they taught you one John Denver song over the 6 weeks. And so you learned 3 chords and a John Denver song. And then I was very much into sports. I played all 3 sports in high school, so I didn't do anything with the guitar after that. And then in college, I played baseball in college. And then as I was getting into the latter years and into grad school stuff, I had a lot of downtime, and I really wanted to play more.
Okay.
And so I started picking it up, and really, so early on, it was like 3 chords, and if I could play those songs in those 3 chords, because I didn't know how to transpose back then, so if I had to play like that. And then I just started picking it back up, and I started teaching myself more and more and more, to the point that, now I'm very comfortable with it. I mentioned, if I get around someone that's classically trained or has done that, I feel a little self-conscious with it, but it gets me to what I want to do, and that's sing and play music.
That's
and write
it.
songs.
That's
and so,
it. Yeah.
And I haven't heard any complaints from anybody in the audience about guitar playing. So,
well, it's interesting. I mean, I've always, music is a language, and when people are, when I run into people who are, better than I am and stuff like that, I just like, they just have a broader vocabulary than I do. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. And I love, and I'm sure you do too. I learn from everybody. I learn from everybody. I steal from everybody.
Well,
I'm not above stealing your lick, man.
I love picking people's brains and asking questions. And,
yeah.
And how did you write those lyrics, or how did you come up with the idea, or what's your writing style? How do you write? And then watching you in the studio, was it 2 weeks ago? I think it was.
I think so.
We got in there, and I was in awe. You just like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, and you start playing all these instruments, and this is what it's gonna sound like. That's so cool.
Well,
I can't do that.
It's a process, man. It's all trial and error. Mostly error. Every now and then I'll get lucky and get it right. But I love that. I just like you. I love making music so much, and I love playing live. But being in the studio, man, I can sit in this room. Angie will tell you, I'll sit here for hours, and she'll open the door and patiently Are you going to quit anytime soon? No.
I've been asked that question. It's like Amy will come home and she's like, "What'd you do today?" Well, I was either songwriting or trying to do demos. And how long? Well, pretty much the whole day.
All the whole day, yeah.
I was just messing around.
Time. I mean, you'll notice I don't have any clocks down here.
Yeah.
I mean, time down in this room, time does not exist. But that's the thing. I love creating. I've been doing it my entire life, and I've never lost that passion and that drive for it, man. So I really appreciate the kind words, man.
No, it's awesome,
and I really appreciate you trusting me with your song. That's
it's I have again picking people's brains, learning, and you're always if you're not learning, you're not growing. If you're not continuing to learn and grow, and so in the songwriting, I have found that there are certain parts of songwriting that I do well, and there are certain parts that I don't do well. So having a co-writer. Early on when I was writing, I just want to write by myself. Yeah. No one will understand what I'm doing. And then finally when I was a little nervous, but when I did reach out, I found that this person, things that I didn't think about, they would give me those ideas. Yeah. Maybe it's a bridge that I couldn't come up with a bridge. And
another perspective.
Yeah, and so it's been really nice. And so, you turn over things that that you're not that good at. And so lyrics and coming up with how I want the song to sound on this is fine, but arranging it in the studio, I don't have that ear, and so
I'm the exact opposite. I'm lyrically challenged. I'll be 48 in a couple of weeks, and that's why I tell people I'm on about a 48-year writer's block. I can write my name. That's about it. But I have the exact opposite. Thing. I can sit here and create music all day.
And that's why collaborations are so cool.
Yeah, and I've started working, with other songwriters and stuff, and I'm very upfront. It's just like I was with you. I said, man, I'm not a lyricist, and pretty much everybody I've started collaborating with is like, look, I'll write the songs, you do the music. I'm like, well, okay, perfect. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun too because I get to hear how the song sounds in your head. Mm-hmm. You get the basic stuff from me, and then when you finish with it, I'm like, it's like when I got Sunsetting and Willie finally, I could hear it when I was doing the lyrics, but when we got home and I could put it on my speakers at the house and just run it over and over and over again, it's like, wow. I actually had my parents were down the other night for a cookout, and I said, I got a couple new songs. Because I also write Christian songs as well, so I write in multiple genres.
I didn't know that.
And so I said, I got a couple new songs. You guys haven't heard them. I'm playing for you. And I played Sunset, and my mom goes, "That's my favorite." and it's that country beginning. It's got that really cool country sound to it, and she just like
mom approved.
That's my favorite, And she said that she doesn't say that about every song. Like some songs, she goes, "Oh, that's good.
That's good.
That's good.
That's nice."
And a couple of them, she goes, "That's my favorite." That one, she's like, I think that's my favorite. And then
my
stepfather looked at me and goes, "So after doing this, have you thought about going back and re-recording your earlier ones?" So I'm like, were they that bad? Were they that bad? I mean,
it's a process, man. It's called growing.
But I think it's how good that one sounded and how well put together. And you helped me out on Living on the Coast. Mm-hmm. And
that's when we first met.
And you did some really cool stuff on Living on the Coast. And it's a different song. It's a different vibe from the kind of escape, happy, beachy songs. Even though it's a good song, it's a happy song. It's got a little different vibe to it. And when you added what you added to it, when I sent it out to the radio stations, the DJs loved it. It took a little while to get the fans to buy into it, and it ended up going number one. But the DJs loved it, and they were comparing it to these mainstream. Like, this sounds like this mainstream artist. It sounds like this, and I think it's those kind of things you added to the song that.
Well,
made
I appreciate
cool.
that. So, Matt, I didn't know that, man. That's awesome. So, do you want to play that one?
Ooh.
Or you want to play something else?
Let me play something else because that's not one I've played in a while, and I'd have to think through this.
And that one, if I remember right, Percy, it's got some. Like the song is like in a minor chord.
Yeah, so
it's not like a typical beach song.
No, it's not. It's kind of in that style, and it's just. And when I first wrote it, I wanted to do something different. I intentionally wanted to do something different, And I didn't play it out. I didn't play it live anywhere. It was just one of those things I wrote and like put it in my back pocket. And I was down the Outer Banks and I was playing a house concert. And by the way, if anybody wants to have a house concert, I'd love to come to your house and do a house concert for you.
Contact him there on
Contact
that,
me.
Facebook.com.
Myself
Percy
and
Abell
20
Music.
or 30 of your best friends in your backyard or whatever, and we'll do it.
That's a good idea, actually.
So I was doing a house concert on the Outer Banks, and the guy that owns Radio Free Outer Banks, I played that song, and he came to that and goes, "Where's that one? Like, I haven't recorded that yet. Like, I don't hardly ever play that one." He goes, "I like that one. Get that one to me." So I came back to Will and said, "Let's get this done," you know. So, but it is different, and I really need to play it in a little bit different key to sing it tonight. But
That's
all
all right.
If you don't mind,
No, not at all. Hey, it's available for download.
It
right?
is. You can get it on any of those streaming sites.
Go get it.
It is there. Living
get
on the
it.
coast.
It went number one, so now you got to go get it.
Yes, and actually it went number one on 2 charts, and it was crazy because it went on the Island Heat Top 20. It went up the chart, and then it went all the way back down to like 15, and then it went back to 8, and then went back up, and so it was another one that took a little time
So
to
it
grab.
had a resurgence. Wow,
It did.
that's pretty wild.
So,
Well, what's the one you're gonna play for us now?
all right, so this is My Happy Place. This is the name of the song, My Happy Place, brand new.
All right.
Well, it has not been recorded. It's brand new. It
Okay.
hasn't been recorded. I played it out for the Tennessee Songwriter Group.
Oh, at the studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's written about. I would say it's a combination of Savannah, Georgia.
I love Savannah.
We've been down there. My sister-in-law has a place near there, and so I love the Spanish moss and the live oaks. And then my wife and I just went down to Bald Head Island this past week for vacation, and so then I changed my mind and said, "Hey, this song's about that place now." If you're waiting on me, you're backing up. I've already loaded my pickup truck, leaving work behind in a cloud of dust. The coast is clear and a little bit of luck. Soon I'll be sinking in the sand in that old beach chair, wasting away without a care, cleansing my soul in the ocean blue. No time at all, I'll be good as new. I need a break, a little time to escape to my happy place. My happy place. Where the crashing waves play a soothing melody, Spanish moss dances in a summer breeze. Bury my troubles and feet at the beach, cooler full of beers never out of reach. Soon I'll be sinking in the sand in that old beach chair, wasting away without a care, cleansing my soul in the ocean blue. No time at all, I'll be good as new. I need a break, a little time to escape my happy place. My happy place. I sure will hate to leave when it's back to reality, but I know I can make it through the week, 'cause soon, real damn soon, I'll be sinking in the sand in that old beach chair, wasting away without a care, cleansing my soul in the ocean blue. No time at all, I'll be good as new. I need a break, a little time to escape, and I'll be sinking in the sand in that old beach chair, wasting away without a care, cleansing my soul in the ocean blue. No time at all, I'll be good as new. I need a break, a little time to escape to my happy place. My happy place.
Yeah. You know what? I think I remember I was out there at that songwriter
I think
thing
you
when
were.
you played
Yeah.
that. Yeah. We got to record that.
We do. So I've got.
I was already hearing like some
there you go.
all
See?
kinds of stuff.
That's why I like this relationship right here. Yeah, and it's the first line of that song. If you're waiting on me, you're backing up.
I love that.
And
I
my
love that.
stepfather says that all the time, and it's crazy because I never knew anybody else in my life, and I still don't know anybody that says that. But now when I tell that story, people go, "Yeah, I know someone."
Yeah, I've heard that. I love that. Just you get those guys that's been around in that time. They got the best.
Oh yeah,
one-liners.
And I knew that it had to be in a song somewhere. And we were down Thanksgiving, down near Savannah where her sister lives, and I was sitting on their screen porch and just really playing around with. Like this is just so cool, the Spanish moss and everything's hanging out,
Yeah.
And so I just thought about that. Like, if you're waiting on me, you back up because I'm headed to this place.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
So that's how that song came about.
Man, that's whenever Angie and I get out on the water on the kayaks. That's my happy place.
Yeah. It's anywhere around water for me is happy. I love water.
And it's so weird. It's like I didn't do that because ever since I was like 17, all my weekends were spoken for, so my life was, I'm just going to, I don't know what city I'm in today. I just know I'm playing music and this is good. And then the pandemic happened and all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know what in the world am I going to do? So we got a couple of kayaks and went out and started going on the water, and that's.
Next thing, you'll be paddleboarding soon if you're not already doing it.
Angie can. I haven't tried it. I got a bad knee and a bad ankle and just a bad attitude in general about that. trying stuff that I think it might kill me, but that's a cool song, man. My happy place.
Thank you.
I love Savannah.
Yeah,
I love Savannah, Georgia. Shout out to Savannah, Georgia. If anybody's listening.
That
from
and
Savannah,
Charleston, that whole
you.
area, that low country.
That's beautiful.
It is so pretty.
I love it out there.
And it was certainly a great inspiration for that song to, when you're at a place like let's say we were on Bald Head Island this past week where you get the beach, the ocean, and the Spanish moss all in one place. It was so neat.
Bald Head Island.
Yeah, no cars allowed. Huh. Take a ferry over, and it's all golf carts and bicycles.
For some reason, Bald Head Island is kind of speaking to me right now.
I know that feeling, yes. and I was telling a DJ friend of mine where I was going on vacation, and I said, look, no jokes needed. I know where you're going.
I know where you're going. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, Percy, man, I've really enjoyed having you on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's
really
been a great time.
Appreciate you being my first guest, and you have to come back sometime.
Would love to.
Yeah, we'll have to record that Happy Place tune. Like I said, I was already hearing all kinds of different.
Let's get to work
different
on it.
ideas on that. So you were talking about sunsetting before we go. When is that coming out? When's that going to be
I'm still
released?
waiting for the studio to get back to me on where we are with as far as the backup and harmonies and so forth, and getting the mastering. So. My fingers crossed within 2 weeks that I can get everything done, and 2 weeks might be pushing it, but that's my hope, to get it out there to the radio stations and then get it onto all the streaming sites as well.
Absolutely.
But I'll keep you updated on Percy Abell Music.
Yeah, I was going to say
so
definitely follow the link there, and he'll go on his music page and follow him and like him, and he'll definitely keep you updated on everything he's doing. And, well, man, thanks again so much for coming out and being my first guest. It's great having you and your lovely wife.
Yeah, it was awesome. And, thanks for having me here.
Absolutely.
Love talking music with talented people and finding out more about the world of music, because music is a cool thing. It's a very healing thing. It's
Absolutely.
Just an awesome thing to have.
I love it. It's been such a massive staple in my life. It's so crazy when I think about this. Like I said, I'm getting ready to turn 48. I started playing music when I was 4 years old.
Wow.
I mean, 44 years? I was like, man, you'd think I'd have it figured out by now. But anyway, well, thanks again, man, so much for coming on the show. So listen, I want to thank you all for tuning in to Star City Live. If you will tune back in here again on August the 10th, we're going to have Carly Ray with us. Carly Ray is she's like 19 or 20. She's a country music singer, songwriter, but she does different types of music too. But anyway, she's really fun to be around. She's become one of my favorite people to hang around and work with in the studio. So, and speaking of Carly Ray, if you want to kind of get a sneak peek of what you might hear on this show, and if you're in the Lynchburg area this Friday, come out to the Clubhouse. I'll be playing with Carly Ray. I think the show's from like 8 to 11 or something like that. So August the 10th, come back here, and I'll introduce you guys to Carly Rae and her music. And I want to thank you all so much for tuning in for my first show here, and I'm hoping to like turn this into a thing. I love doing this. I love showcasing, like I said, all these talented people that I get to work with and gotten to know a little bit. So thank you so much for allowing me to do this, and thank you again, Percy, for being my kind of being my guinea pig a little bit. But anyway, when we have you back, we'll have it. I'll have this figured out by then.
I think you did a wonderful job.
Thank you so much. But anyway, thank you guys again, and we will see you next time. Have a great night, and talk to you soon. See ya.